Hi, my name is Archit. I'm a fourth year finance student, and this is my one card.
Hi, I'm a second year student. I'm Ling Li, and this is my one card.
Hi, I'm a third year accounting student. My name is Kartavya and this is my one card.
Hi, this is Ling. In the video, I'm a psychology major. Through cross-sector collaboration, our program addresses student debt, budgets, and financial anxiety. As a psychology major, I tend to build trust with students, truly understand their emotions, and help them realize stress. When talking to students, I noticed that most of them exhibited financial anxiety. They tended to procrastinate budgeting and avoid checking their accounts. This is the fear of debt and losing control over money. In psychology, we call this money avoidance. It's an emotional response pattern, not just a decision-making error. Therefore, unlike Archid and Kartavya's emphasis on data-driven logic and rule-based approaches, I firmly believe that we cannot establish a purely rational financial model. We need to understand the emotions behind these behaviors and help students rebuild their relationship with money. My suggestion is to encourage students to use financial automation, such as setting up automatic transfers to saving accounts. This eliminates reliance on self-control and helps form habits through consistent action. I have also designed a money emotional journal. This is a simple tool. After each purchase, students record their feelings and the factors that triggered the purchase. This helps them distinguish whether the purchase was driven by need, stress, or habit. And this brings a major challenge. Emotional improvements are difficult to quantify. Metrics like reduced anxiety won't appear in spreadsheets. That's why I need teammates from different fields. My perspective brings empathy and awareness, while Archid and Kartavya bring structure and strategy. Our collaboration can create a system that tracks real change, not just in spending behavior, but in students' feelings and perceptions about money. And this impact is something we can't achieve alone.
Hey there, I'm Kartavya, the accounting nerd of this project. And yes, I make volunteer spreadsheets for fun. When we first dug into the issue of student financial stress, I was shocked at how many people had no clue where their money was actually going. Between mystery subscriptions, Uber Eats, and random late night purchases, most students were flying blind financially. So I stepped in with the accounting toolkit. I designed budgeting worksheets that weren't just function, but student friendly. Think color coded charts, needs versus wants breakdown, and a section called Oops, Expenses. Because let's be real, impulse buy happens. I also ran spending audits with a few volunteers, and patterns emerged fast. Subscriptions stacked up, rent was eating half their income, and nobody was tracking irregular expenses, like traveling or textbook drops. But here's where things got interesting. I initially went in the classic accounting mindset, strict categories, firm rules, right? But then, Link from Psychology gently pointed out that for some students, rigid budgeting was actually triggering, like it added guilt instead of clarity. And that's not what we need. That was a light movable moment for me. I realized that effective budgeting isn't just about structure, it's more about sustainability. If your budget makes you feel bad, you're not going to use it. So we reworked the tools to be more empathetic. Now we include things like self-care line item and space to track emotional spending triggers. Accounting, but make it human. And that was just the beginning. Once students understood where their money was going, the next big question was now what? Now what we should do about it. Budgeting gives you a map, sure, but what's the journey? How do you move from tracking your spending to actually tackling debt, saving up from the exchange semester, or building a future where you don't panic every time your phone buzzes with a banking notification? That's where Archit, our finance guy, comes in with the simplest strategies that help turn these numbers into goals. Take it away, Archit.
Hey, I'm Archit, the finance brain of this operation. While Kartavya was breaking down ramen budgets and mystery subscriptions, I was thinking about what happens after the budgeting part. Because here's the thing, knowing where your money goes is great, but then what? How do students get out of debt, save up for that exchange semester, or their postgrad life? That's where I stepped in. I built simple debt repayment plans and saving strategies. Nothing fancy, just tools that showed students how small steps, could snowball into real progress. Think minimum payments versus accelerated payments to reduce debt faster without feeling impossible. Showing how compound interest actually works in your favor, finally, about time, and reframing pay yourself first so it actually feels achievable when you've got $6 left for the week. And believe me, it's pretty common, it happens. And look, I get it. Most of us aren't living on cash surplus. So I threw in a few student finance life hacks. One being using a cashback card that rewards you for groceries, coffees, or even textbooks. And as Ling mentioned before, set up auto transfers. Even $10 a week into savings builds the habit and grows over time. And my personal favorite, don't buy textbooks, download them online. We even added a beginner-friendly investing tip, something as simple as putting $50 a month into low-cost index ETFs, using a platform like Wealthsimple. It's not about getting rich quick, it's about getting started. At first, I thought the numbers would speak for themselves. Like, look at this project chart. Obviously you should start saving. But then Ling stepped in and said, okay, but stressed students aren't going to open Excel after a breakdown at 2 a.m. Fair point. So we made our tools not just strategic, but also emotionally aware. So, Kartavya and I put our business brains together and reworked our tools to be more usable. Since accounting and finance go hand in hand, we combine structure with strategy, keeping things clear but also flexible. And with Ling's understanding, we created something truly important. We didn't only show kids the figures, we also helped them believe they could change the story behind them. We as a group incorporated visual goal trackers, built-in buffer zones for mental health days, and even rebranded the emergency fund as the peace of mind fund. Much less daunting, right? Honestly, I came in thinking finance was about logic, but this collab taught me that if people can't emotionally connect with their money, they won't act on it. Finance isn't just about maximizing health, it's about making financial freedom actually feel achievable.
This project showed us that financial stress isn't just a math problem, it's a human one.
And solving it means combining empathy, structure, and real world strategy, not just numbers.
Finance, accounting, and psychology aren't separate worlds. Together, they create a system that actually works. Collaboration doesn't just make the project better, it makes the solution real.
Thank you.
Thank you.